All right, so get that. So we're going deep on this one. It's a real life social experiment like we've never seen before. Okay, so we're talking about this MrBeast video.
Yeah.
MrBeast, right? And he gets this crazy idea to spend a whole week, like a full 7 days, living in an underground city.
No way.
Yeah, I'm serious. It's in this 1,000-year-old Romanian salt mine. You know, like those crazy huge salt mines they have over in Europe?
Oh, yeah.
This thing's got tunnels and chambers, and get this, a Ferris wheel.
Like underground.
Underground, full-on Ferris wheel.
So like, it's not just like some little basement setup, right? This is like a whole...
No, this is like a whole city. Like they're really trying to live down there.
I mean, how is that even possible? Like, how do they get supply?
Well, that's part of what makes this video so wild. They basically had to figure everything out as they went.
So what's the point of all this?
That's what we're going to unpack in this deep dive. We're not just going to recap what happened.
Yeah.
But we're going to analyze it. Like, what does it tell us about human behavior? How do people adapt to these totally bizarre situations? And what are the social dynamics when you stick a bunch of YouTubers in a salt mine for a week?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, are we talking psychological breakdowns? Cabin fever?
All of that and more.
Okay, I'm hooked. I got to know how this thing starts.
Well, buckle up, because it all starts with this descent into the mine.
Okay.
So MrBeast has this initial crew with him. Chandler, Carl, Chris and Sean.
The usual suspects.
Exactly. And they're using this ancient-looking staircase. It's like something out of an Indiana Jones movie going deeper and deeper into the earth.
This must be creepy.
Oh, it's totally eerie. And the whole time you're thinking about how far down they are.
Yeah.
Like 400 feet underground.
Oh, that's a long way down.
It is. No sunlight, no fresh air, just you and a bunch of tunnels.
So like, are they just wandering around aimlessly?
Well, they have a general idea of where they're going. They're trying to find this central area, like their home base for the week.
Okay, makes sense.
But before they can even get settled, they have to get all their supplies down there.
And how do they do that?
Oh, it's hilarious. They literally just chuck their bags down this massive shaft.
Like garbage chute.
Pretty much. They're just chucking backpacks and suitcases and boxes, hoping for the best.
Sounds chaotic.
Oh, it's total chaos. And that kind of sets the tone for the whole experiment. It's like from the very beginning, they're forced to improvise, to think on their feet.
So they're already out of their comfort zone.
Oh, absolutely. And then MrBeast throws another curveball.
What's that?
He's got a surprise up his sleeve. Every single day, a new famous YouTuber joins the group.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So each day, a new person gets thrown into the mix.
So the group is constantly changing.
Exactly. And each new person brings their own personality, their own energy, their own baggage.
So it's not just about surviving underground. It's also about navigating these constantly shifting social dynamics.
That's the genius of it. It becomes this crazy social experiment. Like, what happens when you take these internet personalities, used to millions of followers and perfect lighting, and you stick them in a salt mine with no escape?
Oh, man. I'm starting to see where this is going. This is going to be cool.
Oh, it gets wild, trust me. But first up, they get Gideon. You know Gideon.
Oh, yeah, the prankster?
That's him. He's like the king of chaos.
Okay, he fits right in.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
He brings this immediate energy to the group, pranks everyone, gets pranked himself.
I bet Carl was all over that.
Oh, yeah. Carl and Gideon are like a match made in prank heaven.
So how does the group dynamic change with Gideon there?
It's like everything gets amplified. The volume gets turned up. The jokes get wilder. The pranks get more elaborate.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Oh, it kind of is. But it's also hilarious. It's like watching a live action cartoon.
Okay, so we got MrBeast.
Yeah.
We've got Chandler, Carl, Chris, and Sean. And now Gideon. Who's next?
All right, so then we get Sam and Colby.
No way.
Yeah, the explorers.
The ghost hunters.
Those guys. And they bring a totally different vibe to the group.
Like a spooky vibe.
Yeah, like a creepy, unsettling vibe.
Well, they are known for exploring abandoned places.
Exactly. So they're already comfortable with the whole darkness and isolation thing. But they take it to another level.
How so?
They end up finding this creepy tunnel, like way off the beaten path. And they think it might have been used for some kind of rituals or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they find this like altar with strange symbols and stuff.
So they're freaking everyone out.
Oh, yeah, they're totally playing up the spooky angle.
So it's not all fun and games anymore. There's like a real sense of unease.
Oh, yeah, the tension is definitely building. And then things take a turn.
What happens?
Kai Cenat arrives.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Kai Cenat. And he comes in with this whole, like, I'm the mayor attitude.
He declares himself mayor.
Yeah, like, he's in charge now, tries to impose all these rules and stuff.
What kind of rules?
Like, weird stuff. Like, you can only eat certain foods at certain times. and everyone has to wear a uniform. It's like he's gone power crazy. Yeah, it's hilarious, but it also creates this whole new dynamic because the other YouTubers are not having it.
They're rebelling.
Oh yeah, they're pranking him back, challenging his authority. It's like a full-on mini revolt.
This is getting good.
Oh, it's about to get even better. But that's a story for part 2 of our deep dive.
Welcome back to the deep dive into MrBeast's underground city. When we left off, Kai Cenat was trying to rule the place, like he appointed himself the mayor. And the other YouTubers weren't too happy about it.
Yeah, it was like watching a high school popularity contest gone wrong, but underground.
Yeah.
And with way more at stake.
Right, because it's not just about who's in charge, it's about how they're all dealing with this crazy situation, being stuck in a salt mine, no sunlight, limited contact with the outside world. It's got to mess with your head.
Oh, totally. And that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating. It's like a pressure cooker of human interaction. You see how they react to stress, how they form alliances, how they cope with conflict.
It's like a real-life Lord of the Flies.
Except with way better Wi-Fi.
So how does this whole mayor thing play out?
Well, the other YouTubers, they're not just going to take it lying down, they start rebelling. But in a very YouTuber way.
What do you mean?
They're pranking him. Like, constantly. It's like they're using humor as a weapon.
Interesting.
There's this one scene where they steal his mayoral sash, the one he made himself, and they hide it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's running around like a headless chicken trying to find it. It's hilarious.
So they're basically undermining his authority.
Exactly. They're showing him that they don't recognize his power.
And it's all done through pranks.
Pretty much. But it's not just about Kai. The whole group dynamic is shifting. You see alliances forming, rivalries developing. It's like a whole social ecosystem evolving in this salt mine.
So even in this weird situation, human nature prevails.
Totally. We're social creatures. We crave connection. We form hierarchies, even when we're stuck in a salt mine.
But amidst all the chaos, they're also having these moments of genuine connection.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're building a shower together, exploring the tunnels, sharing meals. It's like they're creating their own little society down there.
It's like they're finding a sense of purpose, a sense of community.
Exactly. It's not just about surviving. It's about thriving. And then Logan Paul shows up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, day 5. Logan Paul enters the underground city.
So we've got the prankster, the explorers, and now the WWE superstar.
It's like MrBeast is trying to create the most diverse cast of characters possible.
So how does Logan Paul fit into all of this?
Well, at first there's a bit of tension. He's the outsider. He's used to being in the spotlight. But then something interesting happens.
What's that?
He starts to adapt. He joins in on the pranks. He helps build the shower. He even freaks out about being underground.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's like, I need therapy. It's actually pretty funny.
So he's showing his vulnerable side.
Totally. And that's what allows him to connect with the group.
It's like they see him as a human being, not just a celebrity.
Exactly. And then we get Vic Star and Speed.
The dynamic duo.
Yeah, these guys bring a whole new level of energy to the mix.
What are they like?
They're like the human embodiment of a sugar rush. Loud, energetic, always up for a challenge.
Sounds like they fit right in.
Oh, they do. They immediately start commenting on how bad everyone smells after a week underground.
Yeah.
And they challenge everyone to a soccer match.
In the underground arena.
Yep.
This is getting ridiculous.
It is, but it's also amazing. It's like they're creating this whole new world down there with its own rules, its own culture, its own unique way of life.
And as the week goes on, they start to realize that their time in the underground city is coming to an end.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. They're reflecting on their experiences, the bonds they've formed, the challenges they've overcome.
It's like they've gone through a shared trauma.
In a way. But they've come out stronger on the other side. They gather around a campfire, share stories, laugh. It's a really touching moment.
So even though it was a temporary experience, it had a lasting impact.
That's the power of shared experience. It can bring people together in ways we never expect.
And that brings us to the final chapter of our deep dive.
Ah.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive into MrBeast's underground city. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, we've seen pranks and power struggles and unlikely friendships. But now that we're nearing the surface, let's take a step back and look at the big picture.
Yeah. What did they learn from this whole experience?
And what can we learn from watching them?
Right. It's easy to get caught up in the entertainment value. But there's a lot to unpack here.
For example, remember how they all cleaned up the camp before leaving?
Yeah, that was interesting.
They didn't have to do that. There was no prize for being tidy. but they did it anyway.
It shows they cared about the space.
Right. It's like they understood that even though it was a temporary city, it was still a community.
And that sense of community is what really stands out to me.
Me too. They didn't just survive down there. They thrived.
They formed real connections. They supported each other.
It's like they created their own little society.
With its own unique culture and its own set of challenges.
And they had to overcome those challenges together. Building the shower, exploring the tunnels, dealing with the psychological stress of being underground.
It forced them to rely on each other.
And that created a bond that went beyond just being YouTubers.
It made them a team.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, would they have connected so deeply if it weren't for this shared experience?
That's a good question.
It's like the extreme environment, the isolation. It brought out something different in them.
It made them more human.
I think so.
And don't forget about the millions of people watching online.
Right. This wasn't just a private experiment. It was a shared experience with their audience.
And it made people think.
Yeah.
About community, about human resilience, about the power of shared experience.
MrBeast tapped into something really powerful here.
He did.
He showed that online entertainment can be more than just entertainment.
It can be a way to connect with people.
To build community, to explore new ideas.
And it makes you wonder about the future.
What's next?
Will we see more of these immersive experiences?
Will virtual reality become the new reality?
It's hard to say.
But one thing's for sure. The lines between entertainment and real life are blurring.
And that's exciting.
It is. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want you to think about something.
Okay.
If you were dropped into this underground city, what role would you play? Would you be the leader, the prankster, the mediator?
It's a tough question.
It is, but it's a question worth asking.
It makes you think about your own strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly, and how you would react in a high-pressure situation.
So as we return to the surface, let's hold on to that sense of wonder.
The curiosity.
The desire to explore.
Because the world is full of amazing things just waiting to be discovered.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep connecting.
And who knows, maybe we'll see you in the next deep dive.